Hello, hello, hello. I am finally in the garden making a video. I took my supplements. I hope I don't have a hot chocolate beard or something. It is quite warm and it's nice. I love it. I like it. I feel sluggish. I feel depressed because of the wildfires, because of the smoke in the air, because of environmental destruction, because of the animal suffering, and all of this and my situation here. It is very depressing to say the least, but we'll figure it out, one day at the time. Figure it out. So it was really nice to meet Justin. So very, very nice to meet you. And that is awesome to have a friend like that. And to be able to talk to someone, about our problems and all of that. I think that's really, really cool. Someone who doesn't judge you, and someone who is patient and good listener, and that's what we both are. So that's really cool. Thank you very much. So I also want to talk about, I've already been rehearsing, as I always do, been thinking about what I wanted to say in the video after I got up also today. I was thinking about so many things. I don't even know where to get started. So I just want to continue what I was talking about yesterday in my video. I was talking about that guy, David. I don't know what his last name was. It doesn't matter. A guy who looks like a real hardened right-wing Republican, who came to my Facebook and who said hi. So I said hello, because I'm always nice to everyone, right? And then I didn't respond right away. I was busy with other things, and I wanted to talk about that, but then I always get sidetracked with my videos. So I thought, okay, I still want to talk about that guy David. So that guy David reminds me of Zane. He probably is. He could be Zane, yeah. So Zane would deny it, like Zane would say, "I never flirted with you, never, ever, 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 ever." No, he's just said very, very sexual things to me for, I don't know, for several months in the chat room, back several months ago, until several months ago. And he told me not to flirt, or not to even talk with other men. And then later he says, "I never flirted with you." Okay. So it's these kind of things that I find extremely, extremely annoying and extremely irritating. Okay, and it's those kind of lies and pretense. There's a lot of pretending going on from a lot of people, but particularly from men, particularly from straight men who are very, very, very identified with their image of being this stud, or being this powerful king or powerful personality. I'll get more into it later, into the psychology of this, but for right now, it is extremely irritating to me when I see that. When I see these guys that want to control women and who are violent and volatile, and that guy David, that's most likely not his name. Okay, so but that this guy, 250 pounds, goatee, right-wing Republican, already has a sour look on his face. I guess he can't have any other facial expression, even if he tries. So I am sorry, but I'm sorry I criticized that. I'm not making fun of you. It's just that it is funny, but I'm not mocking you or anything. It's just that, I point these things out because they really heavily go on my nerves. When I see someone like this with that much of a Republican asshole attitude, when I see something like this, it just pushes my buttons so much. This right wing, and he can't tolerate modern art, because modern art is something he can't control, right? There's something, again, he can't control modern art. Modern art, modern art is filamenting out of his control. Okay, it's beyond any kind of range. Modern art doesn't stay in some kind of range. Okay, it doesn't stay in this or that community or this or that identification or nationality. Modern art is everywhere. It is above and beyond, underneath and sideways, and twisted and twirled and filamented out into infinity. Okay, and he can't control it, so he will try to make fun of it. He'll try to mock it. He'll say he only likes photorealistic sunset images. Okay, bro, that's your taste, not mine. Okay, so just wanted to establish this. And so this guy David, he comes there, and then I can already tell by the facial expression that if I don't respond within seconds to him, I was busy with other things yesterday before I made the video, and while I made the video also. And I don't, like I said before, I'm not constantly checking my messages. I'm not constantly on social media. I have many other things. I'm an artist. I paint. I did art today again, okay? And I still have to do my grounding. I have other things. I have a health regime, a health plan, okay? And so I do spa treatment, for example. I have to do my hula hoop. I have to do all of these things that are on my spectrum of holistic healing. Okay. And I'm not constantly checking whether Zane or David or whatever these names are, whether a Republican right-winger responded back or whatever. I'm not checking all the time. So when I finally checked, and I said, let me see what he said. I'm already blocked. Okay, dude, then there is no way of communicating, right? There's no chance of ever communicating. So just this was important for me to talk about. So now let's take a look at this. Okay, why are these right-wing Republicans, why are they acting like this? What's going on? Do they feel ashamed or something? They feel ashamed of themselves? Is it childhood trauma? Do they feel like They have to man up, whatever that means. They have to be the controlling guy or something. Teal Swan made a video about women's psychology, which I thought was very good and very courageous, because it was kind of going against the feminist culture in some, on first glance, okay, but not if we look deeper into it, of course. And she explained it. She said that women like to feel safe and they like to have a man who kind of takes charge of things, who kind of takes what she called ownership. This can be easily misunderstood by the feminist community, myself included. I am a feminist. Okay? So ownership. So now let's differentiate here. What is ownership in the sense that Teal Swan is talking about? And what does it mean, and versus, in opposition to someone like Zayn or any real extremist right-wing Republican, extremist conservative man who wants to own women. So there's a distinct difference between these two things. The person who wants to own the woman, and that's no different to men in Islam. Okay, they're all the same way. Okay, it doesn't matter which culture they come from. Extremely straight men who are extremely controlling of women, who want to own women like a possession and want to be in control of her like a puppet, So the woman has to be a puppet. And when that doesn't happen, because we have a brain too, and we think for ourselves, and we have our own needs and worries and wishes, and we're mothers, we care deeply about the animals, we might criticize them for not treating the animal or the child right, and then they go berserk, those controlling men, and they all hit the woman, and it's just total catastrophe is that. Okay. And it's those men that I will not and cannot ever be with. Okay, it doesn't matter what my body needs, my body wants. It doesn't matter how good he looks like. And that's another thing I wanted to bring up about Jose in Bakersfield. I know there's a lot of Jose's in Bakersfield, so that's why I'm not worried about using the name. And nobody knows who I'm talking about, obviously. Okay. So, but I met a Jose from Bakersfield, and Bakersfield is the mecca of human trafficking and abduction of women. My friend Robert calls them the burrito banditos with the taco train. Okay, and so I was already a little bit worried about this gorgeous Jose that could be a male underwear model. Okay? My body was like, yeah, my brain was like, wait a minute. Be cautious here, okay? Let's do some ethics tests first. And I was already very, very, very worried, before Paul and Robert were telling me, you gotta stay away from those guys, okay? That's red flag, okay? It's not like I'm super naive and I have to have two guys tell me to stay away from them. No, that's not. They just added their extra worries to it, which already resonated with my own. That's all. It was just an extra affirmation, basically. And I was like, yeah, thank you for telling me about these dangers. I kind of already knew, but I needed to hear that again from other people. Okay. So, but then I said to Jose, I wanted to test him. I said, I talked about this before many times, but it ties into this subject, of course. I said, so how do you deal with anger and all of this? And he already knew that he has to be careful with the way he answers that question. So if he says, I'm gonna deal with it, I'm gonna deal with anger by retaliating, then I'd be already, bye Jose, I'm done. Okay. So he already knew that, his brain was already like, alarm, she's testing you. So he said, I deal with that in a different way. Okay, in a different way than I deal with it, right? Yes, I deal with it in meditation. And he deals with it in a very different way. Okay, that was already enough for me. I didn't need to hear more. So, and then I told him about the girl in Bakersfield, a blonde woman, a mother of 2 children and married, who was just basically snatched off the street by people in Bakersfield or somewhere, I don't know where it was, or somewhere around there, and then brought to Bakersfield into a dungeon of some sort, into a cage where she was tortured for I don't know how many months. I'm not going to get into the details of it. It's too gruesome. Okay. Her husband wouldn't let go. He kept on bugging the newspapers over and over and over. He would not let go. He loves her. Okay. And so they kept on reporting about her every day. If you've seen this woman and this is how she looks like. So the snatchers, the abusers, they got scared. They thought that's gonna backfire on them. Okay. So they dumped her on the side of the freeway, all like with burn holes and unbelievable. She barely survived. Someone stopped, called an ambulance. She was saved in the nick of time. Okay. So she could see her children again and her husband, who were deeply worried about her. When I told Jose, he knew about that case. Instead of saying to me, yeah, Nicola, this is an atrocity of unimaginable proportions, and those people need to be headbolted who did that to her. No, not a word. No, but instead, like some kind of like with this attitude, he writes back and says, now here's some links of what your people have done to my people. There it is. Hello, division. It's like, that's exactly what I'm trying to point out in my videos and in the chat room over and over and over again. Your people have done that to my people. I'm a living being. I'm a mammal. Okay? This is my planet. I'm not your or their people. I'm just a being, okay? And you are too, Jose, okay? But you have to identify yourself with specific demographic, okay? And man, that makes me so incredibly irritated. You have no idea. Man, that makes me irritated. That makes me so incredibly mad. That makes me just want to throw myself against the padded wall and scream. That's racism, Jose, that's dualism, that's war, that's a war front, that's division of the highest degree, okay? To say something like this in response to me talking about that girl, all I wanted to hear was, yeah, Nicola, that's an atrocity. They need to be headbolted. No, he can't say that. Those were his people. They can't do anything wrong. They can torture someone for a year. No, they can't do anything wrong because they're his people. He identifies himself with it. Do you see my point? Do you see how incredibly, insanely wrong this is? So just as a reality fact check, wanted to bring this up again, And someone like Jose is controlling. He may not be a Republican, but he's just as controlling as the totally right-wing Republican man. He's just identified with a different demographic. That's all there is. But the mentality is still the same. Okay, controlling. He wants to control women. And I felt like, and he said he's already arranged something for me to live in before I even asked or said, before we even talked about any of that. It's like, you already arranged something for me to live in? I haven't even, like, where's that coming from, So that was another red flag. I was like, okay, so he's arranging some kind of taco train trailer where I can be of service, to him and many others. And that's how I will pay my rent to the trailer or something. So obviously, it doesn't matter how good the guy looks. He could be a Vogue photo model. It doesn't matter if he is an abuser, if he's a pimp, if he does human trafficking, then that's an atrocity. Okay. And sorry to say it, but those people need to be headbolted. Okay. That's all there is to it. And it doesn't matter what color they are. If they abduct someone, if they want to abduct someone, if they are human traffickers, they need to be headbolted. And yes, it's coming. Okay. It is coming. It's on the way. Elon Musk is developing an AGI robot. He's already developing a brain. Okay. And those brains are, I need to lean back, and those brains are going to be rounding up all of these human traffickers, the factory farm people that work in a factory farm, everyone who works in a testing laboratory. Okay, they're gonna find all of these people, and they're gonna headboard them without a trial. Okay, they're gonna find these people because most of their actions, most of all of our actions, also business-wise, is recorded on the internet. The AGIs will find that. They will find those immediately. It doesn't take very long. Okay, they'll get to them before they can ever barricade themselves in. And even if they barricaded themselves in, the AGI robots will pry that all open because they're way stronger. Okay, so they're gonna be, Elon Musk's gonna put one of those brains into this real giant South Korean robot. This is a real giant South Korean robot that's like, I don't know, kind of like a crane, sort of, that's like as tall as the apple tree. It's like, I don't know, 12 meters high, or like, I don't know, 100 feet high or something. and that's just waiting for the right brain to be implemented. Yeah, things are gonna be different. Be prepared. That's all I can say to that. So, but yeah, I want to get back to that guy David. I didn't respond right away, and he felt rejected, and he felt disrespected by me, and he had to block me. Okay. And this has happened many, many, many times before. And sometimes they'll also say something before they block me, and they'll say, "You are an arrogant bitch," or things in that manner, like, "Who do you think you are? You are arrogant, and you're a snob." Excuse me? I was doing gardening work. I come back into the internet. I wanted to say hi back, and I can't because I'm blocked. Okay. I mean, that's my message to those people. It's like, do you not understand that you are being overreactive, to say the least? Do you not understand what you're doing? How you're acting? You don't see that? So, I don't know. I don't know how to reach someone like this. And also, I have been beaten, and been beaten by an Iranian man many years ago. And I've become more careful on who I meet in person. Who I interact on the internet is a different story. I interact with all kinds of people, and I'm friendly when someone is friendly to me. That's just logic. Someone is friendly, and it's not all about dating or flirting. It's just a human interaction. I interact with someone. Someone says hi, I say hi back. There's nothing wrong with it. That's good. And when it comes to meeting someone in person, I have to be ultra careful. I hope that is clear. I hope that makes a lot of sense. Some men have gotten mad at me for being this. They're calling me paranoid. Yeah, I'm paranoid, was rightly so. They say you need to work on yourself. You need to get out there. You need to meet men. Right, yeah. To go into some kind of torture chamber or human trafficking or whatever they want to do. So, and this is big. This is going on out there. This shit is going on. Trust me on that. I'm an activist. I come across these things all the time on the internet. This stuff is happening in the world. And there's another thing that I wanted to talk about. I was already thinking about this earlier when I got up. I was thinking about the puppy mill factories. And there are also human puppy mill factories at the equator, where there's absolutely there are no animal rights, no human rights at all. And really real psychopathic people will go there and exploit that situation. And they actually snatch women from the street. They take any kind of woman. They take a hooker. They take children. They bribe parents into selling their children. This is happening a lot in India, and also in the Philippine Islands and those kind of a lot of Asian places this is happening. It's unbelievable. And they snatch people straight out from the street, like there'll be an innocent German tourist lady, toom to doom to doom to doom, walking across the street, thinking she's in Germany, right? That's how Germans are. The world is all the same, I go there, it's all safe, right? Wrong. Okay. She gets snatched up, like, what's going on here? Oh, I'm not in Germany anymore? No, sorry. And she's getting into a cage, gets raped. She's gonna be forced to have one baby after another. And if she's too tense, her body is tense because of the fear and terror, she'll be cut open to take the baby out. And they do the same with dogs, okay? And it is so bad with the dogs that at some point the mama dog, caged, always made pregnant. And dogs, they give birth every 3 months. The gestation phase is like 3 months long, or 2.5 months, something like this. It's incredibly short, okay? And and as soon as that is barely even healed up, the C-section, they impregnate her again, and then she after 2.5 or 3 months, she is being cut open again, and that's over and over and over and over. I was howling earlier when I was basically rehearsing this video. I thought, let me howl now before I make the video, so that way I don't have to howl in the video. I already know how bad it is, but as soon as I think about it, I cry and howl about this again. Okay? And then again and again and again. And there was one case where a good person, a lady, found this mama dog on a trash dump. Someone just dumped that dog. I guess dumped her into a trash can, and she was dumped on some kind of trash waste place. Barely hanging on, barely by a thread, Lady gets there, she brings the dog to the veterinarian. The veterinarian was horrified. He said that dog was dumped from one of those factory puppy mills, and she had been through many, many, many C-sections where they cut her open to take the puppies out and then sewn back together many times, to the point where the scar tissue caused her organ damage and intestinal blockage. That's how bad it is. These things have to be said. These things need to be addressed, okay? This is very important. People need to know what's going on out there in the world. So, and we all are. We're all in this world, There are people that are naive. They will go to some puppy mill breeder or pet store. When you see dogs sold at a pet store, they come from those factory puppy mills, okay, where the mother is being extremely tortured and exploited. People need to know. Don't pay for that. Don't give them your money, okay? That's very important. All of this is important information, okay? Don't feed into this cycle of horror and destruction in the world, this cycle of suffering that's going on in the world. And there are people that innocently, naively will pay someone, some adoption agency, like, I don't know how much they pay, $20,000 for a human baby. They come from the equator, from human baby factory puppy mills, where women are in cages, impregnated all the time, raped. Then they take extra money from the rapist, okay? And this is going on and on and on and on and on and on and on. They get sick, they die early because of this unimaginable suffering. Okay, that shuts down their immune system. The mama dogs and the girls. Unbelievable. And mama dogs and female humans, okay, same sentience, okay? Same exact sentience. All mammals, we all have the same sentience, okay? Particularly dogs and humans and pigs and cows. The same sentience, same feelings, same needs, same immune system, same nervous system, central nervous system. Okay. So I'm not going to put one over the other. Okay? So it's the same cruelty, it's the same insanity, it's the same horror, and it needs to end. Okay. And it's very important that people are informed about this, and because of this information, make better choices in their lives. Okay. You don't have to have a dog from a breeder. You know, as much as I want to have a European Basset Hound, and I'm so incredibly tempted, I'm so incredibly tempted to just go to one and buy one for, I don't know, $3,000 or $4,000. That's how much they cost. Because they are so gorgeous. Okay. But think about it, I guess maybe some of those are not like factory puppy mills, but there are breeders that see money, Many of them, even there's one who calls herself an ethical breeder. I can't even reach that woman, I've tried many times. I said, don't do it. I'm not going to mention her name now. Don't do it. She calls herself an ethical breeder. That is a lie, okay? She uses, and because I have written to her several times. Also in regards to my own interest in maybe getting a dog. But then my ethics part of the brain always took over again, and says, there's no way I can do it. I cannot support this. And she used the same mama dog again and again and again, who already had multiple C-sections before, and she used her again, okay, with frozen sperm from one of her amazing studs from the Ukraine. Okay. And I mean, that's an atrocity. That is absolute monstrous greed and cruelty, is that. That's greed and callousness. Okay? And it needs to be pointed out. I wished it wasn't like that, but it is like this, and that's why I have to bring this up. I wanted to not believe that of her, but then I tested her, and it is like that. Okay, it's very sad. It's infinitely sad. Okay, and so I think they also then went on and they warned other breeders, because they're all kind of interlinked on Facebook. They warned other breeders about me. Beware of that Nikki or Nicola. Beware. That's an animal rights activist. She's gonna get you in trouble. And I can tell by the way some of the other breeders already treated me. Okay. Like, they treated me very suspiciously, They acted very secretively, and suspiciously. And so I could tell, oh, the other ones here from the Pacific Northwest have warned them, have warned the Colorado ones and the Northern Oregon ones and even the Michigan ones and even the where are the other ones, the Arkansas ones. Okay, so that's where they're located. They're about, I don't know, they're about maybe 20 of those breeders that have fully, strictly 100% European Basset hounds. So they're very strict about that. So that's not enough though. That's good because I like those the way they look. I'm on board with that. But I am not on board with the way they handle things with the dogs. That I'm not on board with. I've seen a European Basset Hound give birth on YouTube, lady from Canada. I talked to her a while back. I wanted a dog from her, but she acted funny towards me as well. So I wonder if the people from the Pacific Northwest already reached out to her, warning her, like, we're doing you a favor. Don't deal with that Nicola lady, with that Nikki or Daisy. Beware of these names. Okay. So, but, I don't even want to get a dog from a breeder. I don't want to if I don't have to, and even if I feel like the need for the European Basset Hound, and this sounds funny, but the need for the European Basset Hound is humongous. Okay, and this sounds funny, but I'm real serious about this. The need for me, Paul is not that much into them, but I am so into them, that I can hardly stand it. They are big, fat balloon babies. And my mother instinct takes over. I can't help it. I need a big fat balloon baby in my bed. I'm sorry about this. I have to have them. Okay. I already had a dream about finding those in the high desert on a parking lot, and I put my wish out into the infinite cosmos. That's such a strong wish that it showed up in my dreams. So when my wish is so intense that I dream about this in such vivid ways, like it's actually happening, then there's something in the making, So hopefully Paul and we will be there just in time. Someone may have lost or dumped, hopefully not dumped, those dogs, or deposited them on some kind of parking lot. The sad thing is there are people that do that. The likelihood that someone will do that with a $4,000 dog is not very high. Okay, so but one never knows. And then the pandemic is taking over. People get sick. They can't even take care of dogs. A lot of people, they don't even know what to do then. They can always bring the dog to a privately owned animal shelter. Privately owned. So because I don't trust the governmentally owned. I don't trust the ones that are connected to the Department of Agriculture. I don't trust those anymore after what we've been through here with the local animal shelter. Okay, the way they treated us. And I am absolutely terrified of the idea that these people might sell these dogs. They even get cash for them, more than they would get from someone who adopts them from a university. And blue God protect all of these animals. That's all I can say to this, because sometimes I'm even afraid to talk about this, because because there are people that will not hear my message. They will just hear, oh, they'll get an idea. So that's why I'm afraid to sometimes even bring certain subjects up, because I don't know what people might do with that information. That's horrific. That's why they sometimes say, all good deeds are leading into whatever, some kind of chaos or something. But that's a very negative belief to have. Obviously, we have to say things, and we have to be good. We have to do good deeds in the world. This is very important, very, very important, and it's very important to talk about all of these things. What's going on in the world, the corruption, the dangers that are out there, the psychology, the ego. That's a danger. Ego and greed is danger for us. We need to go to the root of it, and we need to look at it. People need to look at their own issues. I think this is very, very important. Okay, you guys take care. Bye bye.